It's round 12 of the 2014 Torque, the Off-Road Championship Series, presented by AMSOIL. We're here. It's the battle at the tip, Sturgis, South Dakota. It's Bike Week, man.
You could not ask for more bikers and more fun and any more exciting racing than what you're about to witness today, if yesterday was any indication.
Yeah, we had perfect track conditions this afternoon. Mother Nature actually cooperated by raining on us all night long. The guys here pretty much took a break until about 11 o'clock this morning, started grooming that track, and we are talking about pristine track conditions right now, and we've got Pro Light at the line.
Yeah, they didn't have to water it all this morning. Let's put it that way. The track looks really good. These guys are setting up. We thought we may see that land rush start. That's not going to happen out there today because there was so much rain. I don't think these guys really want to be heading downhill on this skating rink heading into that track.
But yeah, it's a notorious turn one. So
yeah,
we kind of shifted turn one from here to turn one at the far side of the course. So you know what? Before we go any further, let's go right into our opening ceremonies. As we got our Racers for Christ representative, which is Chaplain Ron Plender, up at the starting line. Ron?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for this beautiful day you've given us to participate in this race. And Father, we want to remember those that are serving our country overseas, that give us the freedom to do these kinds of events. Lord, we just thank you for them and pray for that have a hedge of protection around them. Lord, we ask that this would be a safe event, that for each and every one that's here, be they staff or spectator or racer, Lord, we just pray that you'd build a hedge of protection around this facility. We would have a safe and enjoyable race for all those that are able to be here. We just thank you, Lord, and praise you for all you do and provide. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now, race fans, now is that moment we need to recognize some very, very important people, many of which are not here with us this weekend or here at the Buffalo Chip. I'm talking about our military personnel. Some of our family members, our brothers, sisters, moms, dads, best friends, or our neighbors, our buddies we used to work with. They made that choice to put themselves in harm's way, both past and present, to preserve our freedom, to give us the opportunity to come here to Sturgis and celebrate our freedom this entire week. Ladies and gentlemen, at trackside, if you have served in any form of branch of military, both past and present, please stand up and let's give them a true hero's welcome to here to the Buffalo Chip and the Torque race this afternoon. Now please, everyone rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats, as once again we are about to hear the greatest song in the world about the greatest country in the world, our very own United States and our very own national anthem. Once again, it is the daughter of Mark Kleiman who's about to take the green flag and blow light. His daughter, Kendra Kleiman, singing our national anthem. Thank you once again, Kendra Kleiman, and once again, welcome everybody to round 12. My name is Scott Rain, along with Robbie Floyd. As we get ready to go, let's turn it over to the starting line area where we have
Taylor's down there.
We have Taylor Snyder, trackside, with the latest update of what's going on with our Pro Light drivers. Taylor?
Well, guys, at yesterday's track, we saw a lot of rain out here in Sturgis, which wasn't too great for the night, but it's awesome for today's track. What you see now is really packed down dirt, and of course, you're not going to get a lot of that dust. That happens to be a problem for a lot. Luckily, the storm will go around us today, so it's going to be some awesome racing for all the fans.
Thanks a lot, Taylor. Once again, as our pro light field starts to hit the track for the parade lap, let's go through. Let's now meet our drivers.
Yeah, these guys are looking forward to that pack dirt she was talking about. I think this track is going to be perfect for them. This is the Pro Light, the first of 3 classes today. Starting in 20th, Andrew Cossack on the Canati Ram. Also Nick Baumgartner on the same row with the Cooper Tire 4, sponsored by Sligo Plastics.
We got Sean Moore starting in the number 27. He's sponsored by Pack Race Springs, Maxxis, and Amsoil. Alongside him will be Jake Lunderby, driving for Custom Windows Plus, Stack Stands, and All-Star Performance Replayables.
Look out for the 88, Jeremy Twitstenberg, a freestyle motocross rider, but also an off-road truck driver on the Ethica Monster Machine. Look out for him, as well as Kyle Kleiman in the 42. Ian Harris will be in the double deuce today. Doug Matag, the 2-time winner this year in the 81, will start 13th. Joe Sylvester in the 8 will start 12th.
And alongside him will be Scott Bosch out of Bark River, Michigan, running in the Stewart Manufacturing ATD transmission entry. Brian Osborne, 18 years old, him and his buddy out here from California, running the entire series for Black Rhino, Racer X, and People Water. Alongside will be Luke Johnson as well, the Peak Antifreeze, Radar Tires, and Old World Industries. Jesse Johnson, the younger of Jimmy Johnson's out there in the Husqvarna Chevrolet, as Travis Dinsmore from Canada is running in the Sligo Plastics, Lucas Oil, FK Rod Ends entry. Jeb Brooks, yesterday's winner and current points leader in the Synergy Electric Cooper Tires. And Keegan Kincaid, who was on a streak until yesterday, had that streak broken in the Traxxas Cooper Tires, CrandonOffroad.com entry. CJ Greaves is out there once again in the Monster Energy Maxxis Toyota. Number 33 alongside with Cam Reimers out of Iowa on the SSI decals, Tri-Lube, and the Maxon entry. Starting in the front row will be Brad Lovell out of Colorado in the Amsoil Torchmate BFG. As on inside of him, his little sister just sang the national anthem out of Cody Kleiman starting the front row in that Ponzi Kenda Tire entry, number 48. 20 trucks are making the call as they make their way around. Should be going green this time by.
The guy to look for, once again, will be Jarrett Brooks. He was so fast yesterday. Also, don't count out Doug Matag, Brad Lovell on the outside of that front row. Another guy to look for. This is Pro Light, the first of 3.
They're making that turn. They're pointed. Now you see 2 orange cones. That first orange cone, Brad Lovell can accelerate at any time. The green flag is out. Here we go.
44 is going to be on the outside, though. The pole sitter on that inside. The 48, what does Cody Kleiman do? He holds the inside and comes out strong. Look at the 33 move in there of CJ Greaves.
Greaves starting in that 4th spot, now running in, well, back to 4th, so right where he belongs, I guess, for right now. But Cody Kleiman saves it. He was beyond halfway and saves it, but he'll lose all the way back, I believe, to the 6th spot, now behind Jarrett Brooks.
Oh, man, you see a little dust running down there. Even though they did have the rain last night, this track is in perfect condition right now. The 7 trying to get by on the outside of Kincaid. He was so fast yesterday as well, and in both the classes he entered.
Brad Lovell, CJ Greaves, Keegan Kincaid, Cam Reimers, and Jarrett Brooks all in the top 5.
Cam Reimers one to look for. He finished 4th yesterday. He's inside the top 4 right now, but that was his best showing this year so far. Look for him in that green and blue truck back there in the 4th position.
Man, from 6th on back, there's some ripping off some fenders back there. Not sure if that's Travis Dinsmore or, let's see, it's got to be Travis Dinsmore because I believe Nick Baumgartner started in the back row.
Looks like Jarrett Brooks possibly in 5th spot now. It started in 6th, but watch out for Jarrett Brooks. He's the series points leader, has a 18-point advantage over 2nd place Keegan Kincaid.
And Kincaid has been doing exactly what he needs to do. He won, 5 straight up until yesterday, had that streak broke, but still finished on the podium. He's making up points, but with 2 rounds of racing to go. Here we go. CJ Greaves goes inside Lovell. Lovell opened the door, and they're just barely touching fenders right now. And Brad Lovell coming right back to the inside.
Yeah, he's one guy that's not going to give up, but also the more that he battles in those improper positions, watch out for Keegan Kincaid. And there's Jarrett Brooks. Is that him now moving into 4th, the 77? He was fast early on yesterday, and he showed he was the fastest at the end of the day, taking the win.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the kid is such a talent. He's beyond his
16.
years.
At 16 years
Yeah,
of
he's
age.
beyond his years in talent, without a doubt.
Keegan.
Keegan now kind of go to the inside of Brad Lovell.
That's about as close as you can get right there. He thought that inside was going to be quicker, then pushed to the outside. But watch, two different options in this right-hand turn. A lot of guys are blowing out yesterday.
Yeah, they go to the inside but slide sideways all the way outside berm. It looks like the track's a little bit better. Kincaid comes inside. He is set up now for that right-hand turn. And Brad Lovell appears right now to be going backwards, but he's not giving up one bit. And now he'll fall back one spot. Kincaid has this position.
Kincaid hooked up like a tow truck right then. And now Jarrett Brooks trying to do the same thing. Goes outside, inside, trying to get by Brad Lovell as C.J. Greaves makes his way uphill. One thing about this track, and it's hard to tell from the TV cameras, a lot of uphill, a lot of downhill, and several off-camber turns.
Yeah, we're talking major, major elevation changes. And I just wonder, after one time getting past it, Brad Lovell kind of had his rhythm broken a little bit, and now he's struggling to kind of get that rhythm back because he's lost a position now each of the last two laps, and now getting pressured by Jarrett Brooks.
And Jarrett seems to be faster right now, held back and forth. Brad's doing his job holding him off. You see the gap back to Cam Reimers in fifth. Oh, and Brad Lovell over-rotates, spins. Jarrett thought he was going to get to pass, but when you're looking forward and all of a sudden to your left, you see Brad Lovell facing the side of your door. That's never a good thing. So C.J. Greaves with Keegan Kincaid now starting to maybe reel him in just a little bit. We will have that mandatory caution at the halfway point. These are 12-lap races, so after 6, they'll throw that mandatory yellow. Then they re-rack them, restack them, how they came across there, and then we race to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, we could say that CJ's out there burning up his tires or wasting his truck right now, but the kid, again, another one of those drivers that's beyond his years and talent, and he's only 18 years old. So he knows that truck like the back of his hand. He knows what he can handle. He knows what the tires can do. Plus, on top of that, he's got his dad, Johnny, spotting for him.
Yeah, he's definitely hooked up in all the classes. Today, not going to be racing in the Pro 4s. Yesterday, he made a little history, saw him in the lights, the two-wheel drive and the Pro 4-wheel drive. There's the 88 of Twitch Stenberg. Jeremy Stenberg says he's going to be racing with Torque the Off-Road Championship next year. It's good to see him. Couldn't find out what happened to him until today, but he actually said he got punted. Somebody got into the back of him in one of the downhills yesterday and brought him around.
A lot of the guys were saying that about yesterday. They were getting punted.
First lap's what did him in, though. He really wanted to complete his lap, so had some problems, body work coming off. His hood got smashed off, but good to see Twitch back in this thing. And you see some body panels laying in the middle of the track right there. Still looks like Jarrett Brooks now moves into third, gets by Brad Lovell just behind this truck. That's Keegan Kincaid in second. So still out in front, C.J. Greaves, who sits fourth in championship points. It's Jarrett Brooks back there in third now. He's the championship points leader.
Yeah, I mean, look at that gap. It's kind of like, you know what, they found the rhythm. Both the top two trucks, they found that rhythm, but they're not going to, like, take these out trucks. If it means they're going flat out to the floor, that's what they got to keep on doing. You can't break that rhythm because goofy things start to happen. You start, you know, kind of double shifting, so to speak. Yeah,
Cody Kleiman, who we saw was a pole sitter, dropping back. You see the 14 starting to sneak in there, Luke Johnson. Luke looked fast yesterday as well in that peak machine. He was battling up front, just couldn't stay there, and that Radiator Tires ram. Looks like Luke Johnson now makes a pass, makes that right-hand turn as we're back up to our leaders. The 33 is C.J. Greaves and the Maxxis Toyota Monster Energy truck, right where he wants to be, in front, really not having to put, you know, too much pressure on anybody in front of him, just kind of driving his own race.
Well, the thing is, I'm watching right now, too, in certain of the corners, it looks like there's a one groove starting to form. We got to start seeing some side-by-side battles if this is going to be a two-line track, and right now, I'm seeing nothing but one line. So if you get clean air in front of you, whether you're first or second or even third, that's a huge advantage over the rest of the field.
Well, there has to be places to pass. C.J. Greaves started fourth. He's in first. Jarrett Brooks started sixth. He's in third. Brad Lovell, he knows there's places to pass. Unfortunately, he was out in front and worked his way back today.
But those passes were when everybody was grouped together, and it was like easy. I won't say easy, but C.J., our leader, off the track.
Where are you going?
Over-rotated, pointed to the infield, had nowhere to go, had to stay on the throttle. But he'll relinquish the lead to Keegan Kincaid. And here comes Jarrett Brooks now.
Oh,
right at the competition yellow.
Oh, man, you know, that's going to cost CJ one spot. You know Jarrett Brooks had to be salivating, though, that chance to be into second and have that restart. Well, they're waving the flags. We're going to wave away for just a moment and come back with a second half of Pro Lights right after this.
We had these torrential downpours, and these trucks are not designed to have another 2,000 pounds of mud put on them. And then you pack the radiators tight. The tranny gauge, the water gauge, the oil gauge, everything's pegged. The AMSOIL product came through for us and kept the rear end, the transmission, and the engine all running fine. And I tell you what, we were ready to go for the next day and pretty proud of it.
The fastest name in radio control.
Welcome back to the battle at the chip here at Sturgis, South Dakota. Robbie Floyd alongside Scott Rain. Taylor Snyder's down there trackside, and there's the 1, 2, 3 positions in this Pro Light race, the first of 3 here this afternoon. Keegan Kincaid was in second. He was gifted the lead by C.J. Greaves running off the track there on the last lap heading to that last turn. And then Jarrett Brooks, he saw it all in full but couldn't make up the difference. He's in third, Brad Lovell in fourth, and I believe back in fifth, Doug Matag. Doug Matag, where did he come from? First time we see him in the picture. If that's true, he started in 13th place.
Yeah, 13th spot. So he's made his way around a lot of trucks to get to the front. So yeah, you proved the point. There is room to pass.
I don't know where he came from. I'm not sure if that's true or if he just jumped in there, but they'll resort him if that's not the case. But Doug Matag, who was awesome fast yesterday and has been awesome fast all year long, has worked from 13th up inside that top 5. Tag also with 2 victories on the season. So you cannot start, you cannot pass, you cannot get out of line until after that first jump. But it's Keegan Kincaid leading C.J. Greaves in his right-hand turn. Watch C.J. in that green monster truck.
Man.
Watch Brad Lovell go from 4th to 3rd.
How about that? That was a matter of, it looked like the suspension was upset on Brooks's truck. Nothing kind of kicked him off to the side, and Lovell took advantage. Now that's part of truck setup. And it looks like Matag now got around Brooks.
Yeah, I think he was just hung out in a bad place right then. As soon as Lovell stuck his nose in there, I don't think Jared Brooks really had anywhere to go, and Matag just fed off of it. Look at the guys making that sharp left-hand turn. Some going a little bit too wide. Look at Doug Matag.
Oh, he did it again. Dude, Lovell kind of opened the door just enough.
Yeah, there's a right-hand turn, so he's going to be set up in the best position.
And now it's a three-way. Oh, man, look out.
Over there and heading towards that AMSOIL drop-off after they do this left and back down. Brad Lovell's fighting.
He's on the edge. He was on the edge of going over in that left-hand turn, and he's coming right back. He's leaning on that back bumper of a tag right now, down the front straightaway.
And as a racer, you get a really, really bad taste in your mouth when you're up front and you start losing.
Whoa, our leader up on 2 wheels, bikes it in turn 1.
So does Matag, and here comes CJ.
Much the same way that Kincaid got the lead. Now CJ comes right back. The Monster Energy Toyota now running up front.
Look at those. These are 2-wheel drive trucks. It almost looks like 4 because they are hooked up so well. But you see the dark areas, a little more moisture. You see some dry areas. Maybe the truck's set up a little better for each individual truck in those respective areas.
Well, I'm telling you right now, the kid that's the leading is 18 years old and well beyond his years and talent. And we're going to see that name a lot in the next race as well, as he will be jumping out of that Pro Light into a Pro 2. Here comes Kincaid. In fact, he'll be doing it as well. I failed to mention, Kincaid will be getting into Pro 2 also.
Yeah, look at Doug Matag now in third. He still has Brad Lovell all over him. That race up front is a tight one, a close one. And you see, who do we see? We see Kincaid trying to go inside as they head down that AMSOIL drop-off. He's going inside, slowing down to go faster, but take that inside shorter distance.
You know what's really great is there's no blue groove right now. We are talking about perfect track conditions outside on the berm and inside on the corners. Here comes Kincaid. Yesterday they would try that inside line, and they would and Matag once again up on 2 wheels and saves it.
See Brad Lovell's dropped back 2 spots since the restart. Cam Reimers climbing in there. Jeremy Twitch Stenberg starting to work his way up through the field. It's like Nick Baumgardner in there. So the right side panels of CJ Greaves starting to come off, but he's actually separating himself a little bit from the number 7.
Now it's a matter of, we're talking about perfect track conditions, but still, even with that being said, the guys are still struggling to find out where the best traction is. Is it right now in the middle of that track where it's a little bit lighter brown, or is it up against that berm? So the guys are trying to, even though we got CJ and Kincaid running up front, they're still looking for where the better traction may be.
And right now, CJ Greaves looking for the white flag. There's the flagging stand to the right. He's hoping that green turns white any moment, because
real soon. Here's tricky turn number 1. Nice and clean. Yesterday, you saw the guys would enter into the turn tight to the inside, but it was so blue-grooved and so dry, they would slide all the way off the track out into that grassy area.
A lot of championship points are at stake here with only 2 rounds remaining after this. This is round 12 of 14. Series points leader Jarrett Brooks not in that picture. He's not in the top 2, but Keegan Kincaid, who sits only 18 points behind, is in second. If he can move up and has CJ in between, we're going to have literally a shootout these final 2 rounds.
Yeah, and what better place than at Crandon International Off-Road Raceway, and amongst a bunch of kids at that.
And you see the 77, the points leader, still not able to get by Doug Matag there. There's Brad Lovell. There's Twitch trying to go to the inside of that monster truck.
He's struggling to try and get through there. He felt real confident coming in because on day 1 during practice, he was fastest in practice number 1. He was 3rd quick in practice 2. So he's got some talent as well. So right now he's kind of probably got a little ticked off as he's trying to work his way forward.
Still, green flags waving for the leaders heading out of that turn 1. Next turn's going to be a right-hander. Big drop-offs. You don't notice it, but he's dropping off. That's blind there. Now it's blind anything on the other side of this hill and making a right-hander back down towards that left-hand turn. This is a double apex turn. Very important.
Yeah, you got to set it up early before you get into that turn, because if you don't wait to the last moment to throw that thing sideways, all of a sudden you're on an off camber and you pretty much just hosed yourself right there. You're guaranteed you're going to be up on 2 wheels.
There's 3rd in championship points, Doug Matag, who sits 26 points behind the man just behind him, trying to get by. CJ Greaves still in front. King Kincaid, look at that race for 3rd. They're banging this for a championship. Jarrett Brooks needs to get in front of Matag and get as close as he can to Keegan Kincaid.
Well, you can't get any closer than what they are right now, running in 2nd and 3rd. White flag is coming out, this time by for CJ Greaves. You see back in the distance, you see Keegan, there's Matag, and Jarrett Brooks and Matag right behind him.
Oh, do you see the wheelie coming in there and slapping? That's not the attitude he was really looking for.
Simply amazing. Still no blue groove, still no dust. This track is absolutely fantastic right now.
They had record rainfall. I know at least in Rapid City, which is about 30 minutes from here, 1 3/4 inches of rain fell last night.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It seemed like a lot more than that.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. A monsoon came through here. Motley Crue was rocking next door, but these guys were rocking all day, all afternoon, and CJ Greaves looking for the victory, something he could not get yesterday. That win went to Jarrett Brooks.
I mean, this goes to show you how important tires and tire grooving are in their selection. The track has changed so much since yesterday afternoon. And, we're talking about dismounting old tires, putting new tires on, the whole 9 yards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the kid does it again. Down the front straightaway, aimed at the checkered flag. 18-year-old CJ Greaves throws another win in his resume. 2nd will be Keegan Kincaid, still chasing that championship. Behind him, Jarrett Brooks will finish 3rd, and Doug Matag will finish 4th.
CJ Greaves with his 2nd victory of the year. That will help him in that points battle, possibly move him up into 3rd. He was 33 markers behind Jarrett Brooks coming into today. So CJ Greaves is number 1 once again, the 2nd time here at Torque, the Off-Road Championship.
Emergency safety crews depend on their gas-powered equipment to start when they need it. That's why they use VP small engine fuels, formulated with no ethanol to prevent fuel system damage and ensure easier starts. Designed for both 2- and 4-cycle engines. Try VP small engine fuels for your gas-powered tools so they'll start when you need them. Order online at homedepot.com or visit your local dealer.
Well, welcome back once again as the points chase, the championship has tightened up quite a bit with 2 rounds of racing remaining. In fact, we'll be back in just a moment with the victory celebration with CJ Greaves and the other 2 finishers up on the podium. We'll be back once again right after this.
The problem is you got to stand behind their crowd. And I said, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, we're not going to worry about it. Unless he wants to do some shots or, you know. That's the high Charlie. Oh, is that what that is? Yeah. All right. We got to do a race. Yeah. No, that's kind of bad. See what they're worried about, if the cable stays on there and it snaps back, the cable just brings it right back to the same spot. You know what I mean? As I keep it there, so it just has like a limit. Yeah, you ever like pull a car out and cable snap the cable? It doesn't like keep it strapped. Yeah, we did that. But it would stop it from going that way the first time. What we're doing is bad.
that, stand by. Robbie, toss us down.
Welcome back to the Battle at the Chip. The Pro Light division is done. There's our podium finishers, and now I believe we're going to send it down to Taylor Snyder and speak with those three guys. Taylor?
Thanks, guys. I have our Pro Light finishers up here, and of course, what an awesome place to be here in Sturgis. Jarrett Brooks, how does it feel out here? I know you're a little bit young, and a lot of these guys are been coming out here for years. How exciting is it to get out here in front of them?
Oh, that's for sure. I never thought I would be out here at Sturgis for Bike Week, and you know, this track's for sure my favorite track. And today was a lot different. You know, it was really rutted up from the rain, and the Cooper tires held up good. You know, I saw the truck just bouncing off everywhere, and me and Doug had a pretty gnarly battle, and I kind of got into him a little bit, and I'm sorry about that. You know, me and him are just trying to go for that points lead, and you know, this weekend's been really good for us. We got a first yesterday and third today, so it was a good weekend, and thanks to everyone that helped me: Cooper Tire, Maxima, Fox Shocks, Replay, and Rigid, and my whole family. Thank you to everyone.
All right, everyone, give it up for Jarrett Brooks in third place. Moving on over, Keegan Kincaid. Keegan, we saw you up here yesterday, but let's talk about the track a little bit. I talked to you right before the race, and you hadn't gone on it today. Was it a lot different from yesterday?
Oh, yeah, they made a little bit of changes and rain last night, and track was actually really tacky. But it developed some huge ruts, and you know, I made a mistake, CJ made a mistake, and I let him back by again, and it was some good battles, and I was pretty consistent once I knew Jarrett was still behind me for some points, so all three of us are going for valuable points, so it's going to be interesting going into Crandon, and this Traxxas, Cooper Tire, AMSOIL Trucks was just been running great lately, so I got to give it up to my team and my family and for all the support.
All right, everyone, give it up for Keegan Kincaid. Moving on up, CJ Greaves. CJ, obviously a powerhouse family altogether, you and your dad out here, but Pro Light is one of your strong suits, and great battles going on out there today. Talk about a little bit about it.
Yeah, you know, we were off yesterday, and it was all my fault. I'm the only one that can take credit for it, but today we worked our butts off last night and got it figured out, and Keegan was right there, and I made almost like a rookie mistake over there and came down and didn't know there was a hole that I missed every other lap and spun out, and then I knew I had my work cut out for me, and he was running good and made a mistake, and that's all it took. I mean, consistency was the key here today, and we got a lot of ruts, and so we just kept our head down and kept moving forward.
All right, well, I can't wait to see all the battles going on, but how is it being out here in Sturgis?
You know, Sturgis is awesome. I mean, 19 years old, and I get to come here, and there's hundreds of thousands of people, so I couldn't thank Torque and Sturgis enough. It's a great venue, and we're glad to be here. But I couldn't do it without all my team, my mom, my dad, my sister, all my friends, Boots, the Lord for keep me safe, Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, Forest County, Potawatomi. Some of those guys are out here to see us. Method Race Wheels, J&H Tranny, Pro Power, all you guys for helping me. Thanks a lot.
All right, well, what did Sturgis think of Pro Light? You guys like the racing out there? All right, well, give it up for all of these drivers up here: Jarrett Brooks, Keegan Kincaid, and the man on top, CJ Greaves.
Strong run by CJ Greaves, and excuse me, as he gets ready to prepare himself for the Pro 2. But of course, you got to pop the bubbly there. King Kincaid also been doing the duties this week. Jarrett Brooks to his right, 16 years old. He gets to spray the sparkling apple cider, I'm quite sure. "16 years old, and it never gets old, no matter 16 or 66. Jarrett Brooks having a good time out there. CJ hoping to do this 2 times today. That's it for the Pro Lights. Jarrett Brooks took the victory yesterday. CJ Greaves today. Next up will be the Pro 2s, where Chad Horde took yesterday's victory. We'll see who does that in today's episode. Look at all the fans down there, and a lot more to the left, and hundreds of thousands of fans in the area here at Sturgis for the battle at the Chip. I'm Robbie Floyd. Scott Rain stepped aside for just a moment, and Jason Becker sits down next to me with Caterpillar, and this is the track that Cat built. And I know Steve Barlow said that yesterday up on the podium, but the track that Cat built here at Sturgis, an awesome one, Jason, and you have to say the crew did a great job at a virgin track to get it in the fine shape that it is now, done by Cat Equipment.
Well, you would never know what went into this track unless you saw it before it started. Unbelievable amount of work. I mean, they moved 100,000 yards of dirt
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. And it just didn't happen overnight. So they did a really good job and really great vision from Torque and Jeff Nordstrom and the crew on how they built it. They used a lot of equipment to make it happen. And, I like the ring of that, the track that Cat built. I love it.
Yeah, it sounds good. And also some of the equipment, the technology, and you were talking with me a little bit earlier about it. There's a lot of stuff here to deal with. This is not a flat pasture by any means. You talk about how these machines can have GPS to keep them located in certain areas, but also the blade leveling and getting everything nice and smooth where the operator doesn't have to be tweaking it up and down. The machine does that.
Well, Jeff and those guys are great operators, but at the same time, if you can add technology to a machine and make them even more productive, that's a really good thing. So, yeah, these have GPS on them. You can see the grader that's going on the track now. That 140M's got GPS masts on it. See those white things on the top of those masts?
Right.
That's GPS. So the tractor knows where it's supposed to be and it knows what grade it's supposed to go on as well. So it will be really, really accurate. Actually, they had a jump they were changing. They were able to change it to where the drivers liked it, punch it into that computer, and then replicate it after they needed to get it fixed. And that's what technology can do for you. It can basically replicate a job, but also make sure you got great stuff every time you're getting the work done the same way.
And, of course, these guys, not grading going that fast, but they show you just how fast these machines can go as well. Look at all the fans here. You've been with us throughout the season, but it has to be cool for you also to look out here and see a different type of maybe end user. I guarantee you there's people out there that use Cat equipment that get to see the wares, and maybe they'll try and pick up a piece and head home and use it at home.
Well, that's what we hope for, but there's definitely the Torque fans. Every stop we've been are our type of people. I mean, they work with the dirt, they live around it, they love it. So whether they're just racing in it or they're actually building things with it, we're finding people here that that are our friends that we sell to now and are good, long, loyal customers for us. So it's been a good relationship, and to see something get started like this from scratch is pretty incredible. And then we really thank the fans for coming and can't wait for the next couple years.
Well, we're going to let your equipment do the work out there, a little track preparation as we get prepared for Pro two-wheel drive. Do you have a favorite driver out there in the two-wheel drive?
I do. I'd say Steve Barlow is probably my favorite. There's some other guys we like too. They're all a great group of guys. That's one thing about these guys. They're really a friendly group, helping each other out. But they all want to beat each other on that track for sure.
Look out for the Cat Ford number 2, Steve Barlow. Jason Becker, thank you from Cat. And this is the track that Cat built here at Sturgis. We're going to step away for just a moment. We're at the Battle of the Chip from Sturgis, South Dakota, and we'll have Pro two-wheel drive here shortly.
Before you get in, get going. Get gone. You need to get a tire that gets you. A tire like Cooper's revolutionary new CS5 with premium touring innovations for the way real drivers really drive. That's real life performance. Because life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Welcome back once again. Here we're at the Buffalo Chip, and what a pleasure it is to have this guy up here. I get the chance to talk to him all the time. Off camera, usually back in the pits, he gives me a ration of you-know-what. But I got Jeremy Meyer from AMSOIL up here. And Jeremy, once again, whether it be in town, part of the bike rally, or here out at the Buffalo Chip, part of the Torque Series, you find yourself in the middle of the mix no matter where we're going.
Well, you got to bounce around quite a bit. AMSO has been the official oil of the Sturgis Bike Rally for the last 7 years. We just started getting together with the Buffalo Chip this year's official oil, and a lot of stuff going on there. And then, obviously, we're bringing torque racing out to Sturgis. Who would have thought that it would have happened and been this successful?
Well, how are you keeping it straight? You got stuff going on in town, which is it'd probably take an hour and a half to get to where you have everything going on in town. And we're talking, 3 miles from here? But it's like an hour and a half drive now.
Yeah, there's a lot of bikers out here. We're a big biking community. That's why we've been out here. we got a lot of love for the sport. The sport, I guess, of riding your bikes through these beautiful countryside and throughout the country. And hey, let's come out here and have some fun. We put a great team together. It takes a lot of work and effort throughout the year to get here and get everything done.
Well, what's neat, too, is you look at the camera shot, a bunch of bikers are here. You've got a big display down in the pit area, but yet you've got the consumer, these bikers coming up there and checking out the product, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, there's so many great stories. These guys have been very interested. A lot of these guys are using, our motorcycle oil, our 2050 and the Harleys. And, here at downtown, you're standing on a street corner, you got an AMSOIL tag on your back, and the guy's like, AMSOIL, that stuff's great. Only lowers your temperature by 10 degrees. I'm like, well, is that a good thing or a bad thing for you? He goes, that stuff's awesome. And he obviously used probably some pretty different language than that. So great support from all the guys that are riding and all the fans that are out here today. And, hey, let's have some fun racing today.
Well, these are diehard fans that didn't even know they were, because the gates opened at noon, and here it is 4 o'clock, getting ready for the second race, and they've been sitting there for 4 hours and loving it.
Oh, yeah, they brought their chairs out. Now they get to sit on their bikes today. Just what a wonderful opportunity for Torque to be in such a hub of activity here out at Buffalo Chip.
Well, you know what? It's great having you up here in the booth once again. Congratulations on basically, winning the lottery and putting your name in an event. I should say a couple events in the big grand scheme of things here at Sturgis.
Yeah, you know what? Hats off to Jeff Nordstrom and all the Torque guys for building this track, and and all the drivers for all their feedback, because you build a new track, you cut into the background and everything like that. There's going to be some bumps, and you're going to scratch your head a little bit, but everybody works in this series, works together, has a lot of fun, and hey, we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to be bigger and better in 2015, bud.
Well, congratulations, man.
After that AMSOIL Cup race comes September.
I was going to say, you're going on a family vacation next week. I better see you and the family at Crandon a couple weeks after that.
Definitely. That's a granddaddy of them all there, buddy. 40,000 to win. All you racers out there on the West Coast, get your butt out there.
There you have it. Jeremy Meyer once again from AMSOIL. Thank you for coming out here. And you know what? We got just a few moments before the start of the Pro 2 race. We'll be back in just a moment.
Ready. Drive.
And 90 degrees up on 2 wheels.
Fly. Dominate. Celebrate. MagnaFlow.
What is Monster? It's killing tires on the ultimate gymkhana course. I'm Ken Block, and I am Monster.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is our field of Pro 2s on the parade lap. So we'll introduce you to our field right now as we speak. On the front row, we've got Nick Tyree from San Diego, California, driving the 91 Tyree Motorsports Diffenbach Constructions Maxxis Tire entry. Alongside of him, this young man was in a Pro 2 for the first time yesterday and did quite well out of Argonne, Wisconsin, driving the Traxxas Cooper Tire. Crandon, offroad.com, number 4, Keegan Kincaid.
Also look for the number 2, Steve Barlow, in that Cat Maxxis Ford out of Temecula, California. CJ Greaves, the 33 in that monster Maxxis Toyota, with 7 victories on the season. He'll start 5th.
From Felch, Michigan, way up there in the UP of Michigan, driving the Boss Snowplow AMSOIL Maxxis Tire Nissan, the number 9 of Chad Horde. Alongside of him, Justin Keener in that Harley-Davidson orange and black entry, the Chevrolet Maxxis Tires, number 3 of Justin Keener. Ari Lyondike Jr. in the next row from Scottsdale, Arizona, driving the Cooper Tire Gunk Genius Tool, number 25. And Jesse James out there in the Cooper Tires Toyota, number 55. And rounding out the field, the younger brother of Jimmy Johnson in the NASCAR fame from Charlotte, North Carolina, and El Cajon, California, driving the Husqvarna Chevrolet, the Maxxis Tires, number 74 of Jarrett Johnson.
Lining it up. They'll make this right hand. That is the last turn, and they'll head down that straightaway with a couple of tabletops filled in, heading into a sharp right-hand turn.
No,
the
Nick
91,
Tyree,
he sets the pace on the inside.
He was on the front row yesterday, but remember, he did pull the whole shot, went into turn 1, and he was the first casualty that went off the track out into the swampy area. And it looks like we may have a replay of yesterday. Here they come to turn number 1. Nick Tyree at the point. Kincaid on the outside.
I cannot believe Tyree did not take it farther outside when you have that good of a start and a full truck length ahead. Why don't you take more of that outside line and take the competitor in front of him?
Here comes CJ running in third. He'll duck to the inside on Nick Tyree. Meanwhile, Kincaid's up front. Chad Horde right now running that 4th spot.
Oh, look at CJ diving on that inside. He knew if he took that position, he could cross in front and block him, and that's exactly what he does. He'll lose a little ground to the leader, but he takes the position.
I mean, right now, if you're going to pass trucks, this is where you got to do it. You got to really, when they're all tight and bunched up, you could probably pass 2, 3 at a time, and that's exactly what CJ and now Chad Horde are trying to do.
Chad Horde in the number 9, the Boss Snowplow AMSOIL entry. You see the red 9 there. Chad Horde with 3 wins on the season. He sits second in points, 26 behind the series points leader, CJ Greaves.
How about this? The battle we watched in Pro Light is the same battle we're watching now in Pro 2 between Kincaid and Greaves. Meanwhile, Tyree maybe needed just to get the rhythm under him a little bit and kind of feel that truck instead of being kind of like maybe the nerves at the start of the race, that first lap nerves. Now maybe he's settled down a little bit, and we're going to see the real Nick Tyree maybe come to the surface.
Well, I question why he didn't take that outside line when he got such a great hole shot. He was a full truck length ahead, but when you go off the outside yesterday, he didn't want any part of that outside.
He's probably
today.
a little bit timid on turn number 1. That kid is due for a podium spot. Meanwhile, as we take a look at Keegan Kincaid, I think we may have found a new talent in Pro 2. Yesterday, I should say the day before, he tested in a Pro 2. And that's actually Mike Jenkins' truck with Jeff's number. So he's the backup driver for Jeff, who hurt himself. His father hurt himself Monday
in practice.
Yeah, Monday in practice. I'm still thinking this is Sunday.
I know it's weird having a weekday event.
Tuesday, Wednesday racing is crazy.
Look at that swap, though, out of Kincaid, the 4. You don't ever want to be on a straightaway going sideways. And that just enables the guy who's hooked up just behind you going straight to close in just a little bit. That guy behind is CJ Greaves. Good race for 3rd place, though. Tyree has Chad Horde starting to close in on him. Barlow back there in 5th. It looks like Ari Lyon Jr. in 6th.
And CJ Greaves picking up right where he left off in Pro Light, trying to track down Keegan Kincaid. Now, this is a little bit different than in Pro Light. He may be a little bit more relaxed in that, you know what, I'm not going to go and try to be overly aggressive, go for that lead. He's going to try to maintain second, try to keep a safe distance between him and that 3rd place truck right now of, man.
Bicycles are free.
Yeah, he hung on to it, Nick Tyree, but he's getting a big-time heat from Chad Horde. As I started to say with
just a little more patience.
Yeah, exactly.
Than we might have seen earlier. Chad Horde not showing much patience there. Look, he throws it in on the inside. Now it sets him up downhill. He's going to be on the outside, but that'll let him square it up and maybe dive in earlier. You know, Dick Tyree looking good in the 91. He's kind of using a lot of the track, but that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, if you know what, I'm driving my line. If you're going to get by me, you're going to have to find a way around because I'm not going to give it to you. And that's exactly what Tyree's doing. He was courteous the 1st or 2nd lap. Well, now he's driving his race, and it's great to see him running up front. Sure. And the thing is, with Chad Horde right there, oh man, just for a moment it looked like he might have been sliding to the outside. Chad Horde looked like he peeked to the inside. As we look back up towards the front, there's Kincaid, there's CJ Greaves, and let's see Tyree still has it.
Tyree did a good job holding on. You can dive to the inside, but a lot of times, especially with these 2-wheel drives, when you go to the inside, you don't have all 4 wheels pulling. So you want to try and find that cushion where those rear wheels can get that grip, and speed is your friend. Keep that momentum up in Pro 2.
And the thing is, I still haven't seen, I was just about to say I still haven't seen any dust, and boom, there it is. So once again, we still have perfect track conditions here.
Right there, with it getting dry, it might get a little slipperier in that rear end, and you don't want to over-rotate on that inside because it's a big drop-off on that inside turn.
Oh, CJ Greaves.
He's set up perfect right there. He's going to get a really good drive down this straight.
Kincaid looked like he may have over-rotated just a little bit, scrubbed off some speed, momentum, and Greaves was able to take advantage. Reel Kincaid in just a couple of truck lengths. As once again, here they come into turn number 1.
Yeah, only 2 truck lengths behind that right-hander. Now they're going uphill, up at the side of this hill, but watch these drop-offs. Big drop-off there, then they're going to face this, and it's blind turn, and back down. They're going to work their way back down once again.
Kind of reminds me of Bark River, where they come up to the top of the hill, they got a truck pitched sideways right at the peak of the hill, and their suspensions are totally unloaded and is still maintaining the corner. When they come back down, they got to have that truck straight, pointed down the hill.
The right-hander again, uphill. I think they call this the AMSOIL drop zone. I think that's what we're calling on the NBC Sports Network show. That is a lot steeper than it looks from the top of this hill just behind us here. We're seeing it from almost the same vantage point.
I'm going to guess it's probably, what, about 150 feet maybe elevation change.
Yeah, probably.
At least 150 feet.
Puts a lot of pressure on that front end to get that bite to turn, but also it's an off-camber down at the bottom, which wants to throw you to the outside.
You know, we were wondering yesterday in the Pro 2 race if Kincaid had front end damage because it looked like he had a toe in.
Right.
Found out that was the case as he had a bent tie rod and some other front end damage. So right now, looks like that truck is handling exactly the way he wants it. He's not sure how he got that damage yesterday, but right now you can see the truck definitely is a whole different truck than what we saw yesterday.
Okay, if CJ Greaves is going to get the pass, now we see Chad Horde in third. So Horde's moved up to third. They should get the competition yellow possibly the next time around. Nick Tyree dropping back to fourth. Steve Barlow, you see him in the cat black and yellow just behind in fifth. So this should be the last lap before that mandatory caution. And CJ, if he's going to get by, he's got to do it this time coming down that front straightaway. Watch this. This is the last left-hand turn, and that is really off camber. Look at CJ on the outside. I think he's trying to experiment a little, don't you?
Well, he's so hard on the throttle trying to track down the leader. I think on that last lap, he wanted to reel in Kincaid. And if the opportunity arose, he was going to go for the lead. But I think he was still kind of laying back a little bit, waiting for this flag right here.
Well, CJ Greaves, Keegan Kincaid, Chad Horde, the top three. They'll line up that way here in just a moment. We'll be back for the second half of the Pro 2-wheel drive here in Sturgis at the Battle of the Chip.
Start the cameras. All right, stand up on the exterior step.
The whole wheel is working. I'm going over.
Husqvarna's latest innovation is based on a simple fact. The Earth is not flat. Its hills, valleys, and uneven terrain inspired Husqvarna to create a line of all-wheel drive mowers that help make easy work of any mowing challenge. The Earth isn't flat, but with a Husqvarna all-wheel drive mower, it sure could feel that way. Find the all-wheel drive mower at your local Husqvarna dealer and Lowe's.
Good times here at Torque, the Off-Road Championship, Sturgis, South Dakota, battle at the Chip, and we've got a battle in Pro 2-wheel drive.
Oh, you know what? And check that out. That is exact order we saw in Pro Light. Kincaid, Greaves, running 1 and 2. That right there, the future of our sport, I think, is taking place right now. 2 young guys running up front. It's got to be making the guys like Barlow and the rest of them kind of scratch their head going, what is going on? This ain't supposed to be happening quite yet.
Yeah, back in third, another non-newcomer, Chad Horde in the 9. Chad looked fast once he got into third place, but it took him quite a while. But remember, he started back in 6th. Keegan Kincaid started in 3rd. CJ Greaves started in 5th. So these guys have found a way to move up through the field. But that maybe one of the biggest mover who had the hardest time doing it was Chad Horde. So maybe he has something now that he's nose to tail with our leaders.
You know, I got to throw it up for both Ari Leindijk, who's had problems earlier this week and now still on the track and
back
running.
In 6th.
Jared Johnson's right there. Justin Keener. There's Jesse James rounding out the field. He's still out there running. Had mechanical issues yesterday. And there's the green flag. We're back underway for the second half of Pro 2.
All right, what do you have for him, CJ Greaves and Chad Horde? Chad looked a little racy, and Nick Tyree trying to get back up in front where he started this race. Keegan's goal now is he doesn't have to worry about yellows. Hopefully, he's just trying to check out.
I think he's kind of maybe caught his dad, maybe Mike Jenkins by surprise. Again, that is Mike Jenkins Pro 2, who he's been driving that thing all year long, running Jeff Kincaid's number as a backup driver because he hurt himself again in practice earlier this week. But, man, Keegan, where have you been not in Pro 2? And what was Jeff thinking about not putting you in one sooner?
Hey, it's helping Jeff's cause in a big way right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is definitely doing that. And Keegan finished 4th yesterday. Remember, he had that tire go down. He was throwing it, holding on to a podium position for the longest time. But when you have a tire down the rim, he said when that rim actually made contact with the dirt, you know, because he was throwing tire, and it would just hook on him like crazy. You could feel it. Look at the separation between 3rd and 4th. The red number 9 of Horde and the white truck of Tyree.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that the top 2 are pulling away from Horde just a little bit. I'm kind of surprised to see that, but then I'm not surprised by this, but yet I kind of am with Kincaid and his ability. I mean, there's a learning curve in jumping from Pro Light to Pro 2, and CJ will be the first one to tell you that. But I think they kind of threw out the learning curve completely for Kincaid. As we take a look right now at Jesse James.
Curve.
Yeah, that poor guy. He's been thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, how about stepping into that firefight? You know, he's got Jesse James firearms on the side, but I mean, he got thrown out here, and he's doing a great job. I know we just had a competition yellow, and he's butted up to him, but it's got to be crazy to not be a professional race driver, racing all the time, and step into this mix.
And not only that, he's used to running a trophy truck with 40 inches of travel, crossing a desert.
Totally different, not short course off-road truck.
You know, he's out there used to running like a Cadillac across the desert with nice soft suspension. He's not used to running a Corvette with 20s to travel and just zinging it around the corners. But you know what? He's still on the track, and he's got a pretty good piece underneath him yet.
You just barely saw the nose of C.J. Greaves sneaking in the picture there. Keegan Kincaid out in front. Watch this big drop-off. Drop all the way down. That left front hits first. That is quite a while. C.J. Greaves is second. Now Chad Horde. Chad Horde starting to push a little bit, starting to drive up in there. Maybe he can catch into that second or first position. Don't count out the number 9. Chad Horde with 3 wins on the season in that Boss Snowplow Amsoil Maxxis Nissan out of Felch, Michigan. Bark River, his home race, but also Crandon, only about an hour or so away as the crow flies. You see Barlow back there in 4th. Ari Lyondike trying to sneak in the top 5. There goes Jesse James's body work. But yeah, Chad Horde's a guy who's starting to be on the move. I think Chad wants some of C.J. Greaves here in just a moment.
Well, I think, keep in mind, he's got Johnny, his dad, spotting for him. So Johnny's probably watching Keegan a little bit more than he is watching CJ, watching Keegan's lines, maybe where CJ may be faster than Keegan. So he's probably coaching him in that area where to check it out.
So Keegan Kincaid out in front, right in his tailgate area there is CJ Greaves. CJ in the 33, the Monster Energy Maxxis Toyota.
CJ just had a great job outbraking Kincaid coming into the corner. Now he's got to get back on the throttle and stay right there, but Kincaid pulls away. Now about 4 car length lead, and Greaves pulls him right back in the corner. So it may be a point where Greaves has better brakes right now at the moment than Kincaid does, because it's hard to tell. The guys have problems with brakes quite often, and we just can't tell. You know, we think it's other things. It may be slowing or situation.
In the Pro 4, he had problems with the brake. We was wondering why he was around 9th place, and he lost, brakes due to some oil getting on him, overheating.
Again, Kincaid goes way outside. Pitched that truck sideways. Again, CJ could not take advantage. Still about 2 car lengths between Kincaid and Greaves.
We're on lap 11 of 12 at Torque, the Off-Road Championship. A little bit of a bicycle out of Chad Horde, the number 9 in 3rd. The series points leader, C.J. Greaves, in 2nd in this race, just behind Keegan Kincaid, who sits 3rd in points. So Keegan, although 60 points behind, he's trying to make up what he can. You never know what can happen at Crandon in a couple of weeks.
Again, you can watch Greaves. He's got the outbraking ability, I think, going into the corner. He just needs to be close enough going into the corner in the next lap and a half or so to try to take advantage. I'm not sure if Greaves will try to lean on Kincaid enough to upset that suspension, which would force him to go to the outside, opening up the door to the inside for CJ.
CJ squared it up, taking a more inside line there. Sometimes it's better to slow down to go faster. That line did help him close in on Keegan Kincaid. This should be the last lap. They should be taking the white flag coming across. That is the case. And look at it. 1 truck length separates Keegan Kincaid and CJ Greaves. Chad Horde has a great seat back in 3rd.
Now this is where it looks like CJ gets a great run out of the corner, but that's where he's got to be even closer to take advantage if just in case the door opens the inside. If Keegan hooks a rut or bites it like that, again, CJ's right there. He's got the advantage. He can see where Keegan's going to go.
CJ stepping up on the outside, trying to dive to the insides. That's going to set him up here. That's only a two-wheel drive. Pops that front end, probably loses a little ground, but it also gets into Keegan's mind going, I cannot leave the door open that much.
Yeah, and you can see the push going into the corner, the big rush through that right-hand turn. Just a few corners remaining into a left-hand off-camber.
Watch the square up by CJ here. He starts on the outside more. He wants that tighter inside line. This is where he made up ground last time. Watch, one more turn remaining, one right. Let's find out who wins this thing.
Yeah, I think Keegan's got it. CJ went into the corner with a big push, which slowed him down drastically. There's a checkered flag. Kincaid wins his first ever Pro 2 race. The young man will take the checkered flag. CJ will cross the line in second. Chad Horde third. But big shout out to that man right there. The number 4 of Keegan Kincaid, the backup driver for his dad in Mike Jenkins Pro 2.
So Kincaid, with the 2 races into his Pro 2 career, has the same amount of victories as his dad does this season, but his dad's more than happy to do that. What a finish by Keegan Kincaid, and that Traxxas number 4, taking his first victory of the season in his first weekend of racing in Torque the Off-Road Championship in Pro 2-wheel drive.
I'm one of the owners for Total Chaos Fabrication. I'm also one of the drivers. We have to test our equipment. You have one opportunity to nab the money shot. I have to believe that it's going to be accessible and it's not going to fail on me. We'll travel with equipment like external WD hard drives. We have to trust that the equipment's going to protect our data. I have to believe in what I'm using and I have to have trust in it.
As the velocity of change in the world increases, so does the promise of opportunity. For over 86 years, we've stayed true to the belief that if you put quality in, you get quality out. No matter the job, our equipment is built for it. No matter the ask, our dealers are up for it. No matter the challenge, you'll be ready for it. Build on a company that's built for it.
Yamaha Viking 6-seater you see driving around the pits is here thanks to Outdoor Motorsports of Spearfish, South Dakota, right off exit 14 on the I-90. We're using it constantly here, but if you see it parked, stop and check it out. Awesome machine and awesome motorsports store.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Battle at the Chip here for round 12 of Torque the Off-Road Championship. We've crowned another winner, this time in Pro 2-wheel drive. Keegan Kincaid takes the victory. There's our top three, and Taylor Snyder's down with those guys.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to talk to our Pro 2 podium finishers, and I'm going to start with Chad Horde. Chad, what I think I just overheard were fighting words over there for CJ.
Oh, yeah. They were quizzing me about Crandon, what we got to do to win this championship. I said, unfortunately, CJ's got to have some problems, and we got to win. So we're just still after this championship, you know, just to put the Boss Snowplow Amsoil Maxxis Tired truck on the podium here again is awesome. We got a win yesterday, third here today. It's just great to race in front of you fans here in Sturgis. Hopefully we can keep this going and build it, and we're going to make this into something. But I just got to thank my crew and everybody who all put this race on, and just, again, hats off to Torque, and thanks you fans for coming out.
All right, give it up for Chad Horde, everyone. Moving on over to our second place finisher, CJ Greaves. CJ, you're all smiles up here. I know you're not at the #1 spot where you want to be, but you got a great new competitor in this class, and he's definitely going to give you a run for your money, and you're going to have some awesome competition for Crandon.
Yeah, I mean, we put on a great show. He ran a phenomenal race. I mean, it takes a mistake here to pass, and he did everything right. I tried my best and tried every move I had, and I just couldn't make it happen. But, you know, we drove a hard race. I'm glad he's here and more competition, and Chad and I are happy to race with them. They both ran a great race, and couldn't be more happy to have this monster Toyota Maxxis, Forest County Potawatomi, Amsoil, J&H, all my family and my crew. The Lord for keep me safe. All you Sturgis fans for coming out here. We're glad to be here, and hopefully you'll see us back for a few more years.
All right, give it up for CJ Greaves, everyone. Moving on to the top of the box, Keegan Kincaid. Keegan, you are known as our Pro Light reigning champion. This is one of your first times to be out in a Pro 2 out here. You're in Sturgis, you're at a new track, and what we expect to see from someone like you is running in the back of the pack, learning the ropes. But no, what do we see? Up on the top of the box. Tell me how you did it.
You know, I thought I had a chance yesterday. I followed Chad, learned some lines, and, you know, we were battling hard until I lost a wheel, but I can't give it up. Look at these VIP bike section out here. It's just huge, and hopefully it keeps growing year and year, and hopefully I can see more of your fans. But I got to give it up for my crew. You know, they gave me in a flawless truck, you know, and it gave me the opportunity to run consistent. And I know CJ was pushing me hard, and I wasn't going to give it up again. And but I can't think of Traxxas, Fox. These Fox shocks, you know, we are launching it off of this tabletop up here, and you know, didn't have any problems. But Amsoil, you know, everybody that backs us up, you know, I couldn't be prouder. Hopefully this is the first of many.
All right, well, give it up for Keegan Kincaid on the top. And, of course, our entire Pro 2 podium here in Sturgis, Chad Horde, CJ Greaves, and Keegan Kincaid.
Yep, who's #1 this time? It is Keegan Kincaid in the Pro 2-wheel drive. Chad Horde was yesterday. You see him on the third spot on that podium. The Pro 4-wheel drives will come up next. Mark Jenkins was the winner yesterday. Who's going to do it today? Stick with us and find out here in Sturgis.
Shit.
When you take that checkered flag and you're standing top on the box, you're proud to have Amsoil on your shirt. But I tell you what, when you take that motor apart in the dyno room and you look at those bearings and you see how great they are, you're really proud to be an Amsoil driver and to be representing a team that has product that's that good.
Welcome back to the Battle of the Chip, round 12 of 14 for Torque, the Off-Road Championship. This is Sturgis, South Dakota, and those are a lot of bikes in the neighborhood. Getting to see Torque, the Off-Road Championship, probably for the first time. It's our first time here. We're on the hillside here, and welcome to not a bright, sunshiny day, but an overcast day that's keeping the track in very good shape, and it's not raining, much different than it was yesterday.
No, and the thing is, the track is staying with us. It's not going away. There's some ruts forming up because this is virgin dirt. It has never been raced down before. It's never been dug up, then pushed back down, and dug up, pushed back down, and that's what racetracks do. Give this track another year or two of this kind of surface, and it will be fantastic here.
A few tweaks as well. You know, it's a lot of off cambers, uphill, downhill. If you've been with us here on TorqueSeries.com and following us on YouTube and the Motor Trend channel, it's hard to explain just how uphill and how downhill some of these turns are, and the off camber as well.
Oh yeah, the big off cambers. We're talking probably about 150, 200 feet in elevation change, and that's a lot because when they come down, make that corner come down, they can't see in front of them until they actually are heading down. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try something different. I've got a spotters radio right here with Ross Hook in the Pro 4 in the Nitto Tires Toyota Silver Truck. He's starting on the pole, so we'll see if we can talk to him right now. Ross Hook, this is Scott Rain in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Scott.
Well, buddy, how about this? You've been on the podium a couple times. You've been on the podium a couple times this year, and you're starting in the front row. You think you have a pretty good chance of doing it again today?
We're looking forward to this, Scott. We got this truck ready to go, and it's a hard track to pass on, so we got the best spot to start.
Well, talk about the tires. You're the only guy out there in Pro 4 running on Nittos. How important is tire selection and tire grooving right now?
Tires are everything, and we can't say enough good about the Nittos. They worked great yesterday. We ran good, and we're real happy with the durability, and that's very important.
You're kind of in a scary starting position right now. You've got the wild man Cheney behind you. You've got Scott Douglas next to him. Then you got Mike Jenkins alongside on the left. Do you have any strategy going to turn number 1 at the start?
Get there first, Scott. Get there first.
Well, thanks for the quick words. Put your game face on and good luck, man.
Scott.
Again, that's Ross Hook in the Nitto Tires number 10, that silver Toyota, sorry, right there in the front row. That is such a cool thing. Hopefully it worked on the World Wide Web, and some of the fans that he's got back in Holland, Michigan were able to hear him on that one. So, you know what? That's such a cool thing to be able to talk to a driver in their moment, in their office, so to speak, when they're putting their game faces on, getting ready to go to battle.
Yeah, Ross Hook finished 6th yesterday. His best finish, a 30, did it a couple times, but one at Crandon, one at Bark River. Yeah, he's looking for another podium here today. We'll see if he can do that. So, yeah, tires are everything. You need to hook up, and you need to get things dialed in, and that's what he's looking for. And most importantly is that first turn. You got to get through. To finish first you have to finish. And he said that, keeping the tires together, and he feels pretty confident that that will happen.
You know, once again, that new Yamaha Viking 6-seater you see driving around that pits is here thanks to Outdoor Motorsports of Spearfish, South Dakota, right off exit 14 on the I-90. We're using it all weekend long constantly, but if you see it parked, stop and check it out. Awesome machine and an awesome motorsports store. And once again, that is the Yamaha Viking 6-seater, courtesy of Outdoor Motorsports of Spearfish, South Dakota.
So less than a minute to go. The red torque truck up there in the front will lead the drivers off. They get about a half a lap to go, and then down that front straightaway, we fired off for 12 more laps here. First 2 races have been awesome. We're going to have it. And remember, yesterday it came down to what? The last lap and a half.
Oh, yeah.
We saw the pass, Johnny Greaves, when Mark Jenkins able to make that pass. Then Jenkins had the flat tire. He said that Greaves did it to him, and he held him off that last lap with a flat tire, which I didn't really think was going to happen.
Well, the thing is, too, I had a chance to talk to Johnny, and he actually posted a couple pictures of his helmet just absolutely caked with mud, and he had vision problems, was fogging up, then all of a sudden he flipped it up, then he got mud in his face, and you know,
you don't want to flip up because there are some rocks in here. Yeah, you do not want to totally remove that shield up. Grant Langston and I were talking about it, said, dude, I would have a no fog cloth tied to the side of my driving suit trying to keep that fog from being a factor.
Well, race fans, here's our lineup. Let's meet our drivers now, the 9 entries as they come out to the track. In the back row, row number 4 of Cherry Valley, California, driving the Ultra Wheels Skyjacker suspension, K&N filters, entry number 43. It's the old man himself coming back out of retirement. First time ever here at the chip, it's Kurt Leduc. Next to him, out of Columbus, Ohio, driving for Popcorn Sutton's White Whiskey, Real Tree Outdoor Energy Drink, the number 5 of Mark Kwame. Next row forward, these 2 drivers battled all race long yesterday. Out of Plano, Texas, driving the Traxxas, Cooper Tires, Amsoil number 25, it's Mark Jenkins. Alongside of him, current points leader, This is the wildest, most badass sounding Pro 4 race engine you're going to hear anywhere. From Green Bay, Wisconsin, driving the Monster Energy Maxxis Tire Toyota, the number 22 of Johnny Scooter Greaves. Next row forward, out of El Cajon, California, and Bondwell, Wisconsin. He runs a shop in both locations. Driving for Amsoil, Borla Exhaust, and Toyo Tires, the number 7, Scott Douglas. Alongside of him, this could be a wild, wild race. Keep your eyes on that blaze orange Ford from St. John's, Virgin Islands. Driving for Realtree Outdoor Energy Drink, 4-wheel parts, and Wildman Bites beef snacks, the number 11, Adrian, the Wild Man Cheney. And now the front row, the president and CEO of Traxxas. He runs on Cooper Tires, sponsored by Amsoil and Traxxas, number 47. That is Mike Jenkins. And the man we spoke to just a moment ago, from Holland, Michigan, running on Nitto tires and ATD transmissions, the number 10 Silver Toyota of Ross Hook.
Scott, as they make their way just in front of us, they'll have that right-hand turn and fire them up down that front straightaway. The acceleration zone is about 3/4 or at least halfway down that straightaway with the jumps in it. That first turn is going to be very important. Ross Hook will be setting the pace. He'll be inside. We'll see what kind of jump he can get on the 47 of Mike Jenkins.
And look how close they are, probably closer than the other two classes put together. Bumper to bumper all the way through the field. Going into turn number 1. Jenkins has the advantage.
Whoa.
Douglas trying to make it 3 wide.
Oh, he tried making a Douglas sandwich right there, and he was the meat in the middle. That is not a good idea. Hook drops back to second. Now look at Johnny Greaves. Johnny Greaves gets by Douglas. He's in third now, and he's working on second. Hook's on the outside. He's in a better position.
Did you get a good look at that, though? He had both right side tires in the air over the edge. If he had missed it just by another inch or so, he would be down 30 feet of that embankment.
Over rotation, and look at that. Hook takes it back. Nice job by Hook, and here comes Greaves again. And Cheney.
4 wide. Look out. The Wild Man's in it now.
He's almost at the point where you're wondering if you're cutting the track to the inside. He dove so inside that time.
It looks like Ross Hook goes from second to fourth in a matter of about 100 yards.
No, make it third.
Oh! Ross Hook dives too hard in the corner. Wasn't able to make the turn. He takes Adrian Cheney with him.
He is all
man.
over the place.
He's off the track. Cheney's off the track. Meanwhile, up front, it's Mike Jenkins holding off. No, he's not. There goes Johnny Greaves.
Man, they are swapping around. I mean, a word of Larry Hubbin like a drunken sailor.
Again, he found a line where he could take both right side tires off the track, up in the air.
That is a heck of a 1-2 battle right there. And you see the 28 and 25 back there. Mark Jenkins is going, what? Guys, I'm just going to let you duke it out for a little while. I'm gonna regroup here. Man. I know I have a competition caution at the halfway point.
I'm waiting to see if all that contact with Ross Hook and Adrian Cheney, if Cheney's able, if either one of them are able to get back underway.
Well, I think Hook didn't want to lose position to what it was Douglas there for a moment. He shoots to the outside. They keep their foot in it, and he collects Cheney, and they both go off the track. Neither one of them wanting to let off.
You know what? They're not. That's where the incident took place in the last lap. Neither one is in the picture, so they're both back underway somewhere out on the track. As again, Johnny Greaves makes his way through turn number 1. Turn 1 has been improved upon so much overnight.
My group's really working that time. I mean, I don't think we seen one guy pop off on the outside yet today. I don't think we have.
No. But our top 4 right now starting to gap pretty evenly between first through fourth.
There's Cheney, you saw him way back in the background, almost a half a lap down.
You see the track looks like in certain areas does like right there coming out of the corner. I don't see any blue groove yet, but definitely a dry spot on the track. In fact, we didn't see any water trucks between races come out on the track.
No, but our vantage point here, we can't see any water trucks. Period. Mike Jenkins, the quicker of the brothers today. You see him just in front of the 7 there. That's Scott Douglas. Douglas sits in third in championship points, but 51 markers behind first place Johnny Green.
And there's yesterday's winner way back in that 4th spot. We may have missed it because he doesn't quite seem up to speed as the rest of the field. But we may have missed some sort of incident early in that first lap or two, because normally he'd be right in the mix of things, probably pushing his weight around a little bit.
Johnny Greaves with 6 victories on the season, not even in that picture of the top 3. There he is. Second place just behind Mike Jenkins, looking for his first victory of the season. We've also seen a win back in Charlotte, our second stop, where Scott Douglas took that exciting victory. Douglas trying to get in that mix. You know he wants to get by Jenkins to have a chance to really fight it out with Greaves at the end.
Yeah, if you're going to battle with Mike Jenkins, you want to do it in the first half. You want to try and get as far forward as you can. That's a battle you don't want to have in the first half, or you don't want to have in the second half, because all that's going to do is waste time getting to the front, because the big battle is going to be with Johnny Greaves.
Mike Jenkins doing a good job back in second, though. He's still holding his own, and there's...
How about that? There's Kurt Leduc out of Cherry Valley, California, running for the Ultra Motorsports, the Ultra Wheels Company, and Skyjacker Suspensions. This was on his bucket list. He had to come. He retired last fall at Crandon from the Midwest Racing, but you know what? This is Sturgis. He had to come out. It was on his bucket list, and he's out here with that goofy grin of his. He had been able to wipe it off all week long.
Well, you call him with a goofy grin and being an old man. I'm not going to say a word.
He's not going to deny it. Also, there's Mark Kwame, the bootlegger, in that Popcorn Sutton's Tennessee White Whiskey entry.
And, this is the Pro 4-Wheel Drive, our third and final race of the afternoon, where Johnny Greaves is trying to check out from these two right there. The 47, that's the Traxxas entry of Mike Jenkins, who sits 5th in points. He finished 5th yesterday. He's currently in 2nd.
Yeah, Mark Kwame's been running real good this year. On the podium twice so far in 2014. So he's kind of found that new degree or new level of aggressiveness. Once again, there's Scott Douglas coming inside of Mike Jenkins. Pitched it sideways just for a moment to try to avoid making contact. Scrubbed off some speed, fell back a little bit. But he's going to attack once again. He's going to try to get around Mike Jenkins. I guarantee you that. Before the competition yell, it's another truck he doesn't have to pass in the second half as he works his way towards Johnny Greaves.
A little bit of a bicycle there by Douglas. He's got the inside again, but not able to get the drive. It looks like the next time around we should get that competition caution.
Oh, look at this. He pitched it sideways early into the corner, takes a spot away.
He showed his authority right there.
Yeah, I think he may have caught Mike a little bit off guard. But Scott Douglas did exactly what he wanted to do and needed to do before that competition yellow.
Watch out for Mike Jenkins. Watch out right here. He's inside. He's set up. Now he's pointing right at him. If he goes straight for that competition yellow, who's it going to be second?
Oh, it looks like Jenkins may have taken it back.
Look at the drive sideways, and Jenkins got it.
It all depends on where that transponder is on that truck.
Well, surely they have to have it at the same place on the truck, but also where is the timing strip?
We just got a report that Jenkins got him right before the line. So Jenkins got second place back at the line. So important.
And this means second for now because we're at the halfway point, a competition caution. This is Pro 4-Wheel Drive. We're in Sturgis. We'll have more right after this.
Fire and EMS professionals often use gas-powered tools and depend on this equipment to start when needed. That's why they use VP small engine fuel, formulated with no ethanol to prevent fuel system damage and ensure easier starts. It's designed for both 2- and 4-cycle engines. Try VP small engine fuels for your gas-powered tools so they'll start when you need them. Order online at homedepot.com or visit your local dealer.
Adrian Cheney up here, and Adrian, tough break, early exit out of this race.
Yeah. What do you want to know? You want me to pitch?
Well, B. Adrian. Tell us what happened, man.
Actually, tough start, and then down. I caught up. It was me and Johnny, and I got an early turn into the hairpin, and Ross just, he forgot to turn. I mean, yesterday he ran good, and then I think today he kind of was feeling it, but he just, I don't know, his synaptic delay just wasn't there. Too much of a synaptic delay. So, as total bonehead move.
Well, thanks for stopping in real quick. We'll let you get back so you can watch the rest of the race.
Thank you.
As we take the green flag once again, going past turn number 1, you see Johnny Greaves gets a jump at the start. Mike Jenkins in second. Now we got Mark Jenkins. This is what he was waiting for. Mark Jenkins, yesterday's winner, right now running in 4th, but right in the mix where he needed to be.
Look at his aggressiveness, too, coming down that hill, but I don't think anybody was more aggressive than Scott Douglas. He wants back into that second position. He knows he should not have given up that position. Not in the last turn coming to get the yellow.
He opened the door just enough to get Jenkins a shot on the inside, and here we go again.
In the meantime, you see the Monster Energy Toyota starting to pull away just a little bit. Every minute that Douglas cannot get by Jenkins, Greaves is maybe able to pull away. On that same note, don't count out Mike Jenkins. Just because he has not won a race this year does not mean he cannot win today's race.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, he's in a very good position. And the Monster Energy Toyota of Johnny Greaves is not bulletproof. I mean, every one of these trucks, just a simple little mistake. And we saw it yesterday. Johnny had a little bobble in one of the ruts in one of the corners. Slid, kind of skipped to the outside, opened the door for Jenkins to take the lead and the win.
That lap, it looked like Mike Jenkins actually closed in a little bit on Johnny Greaves. You see Douglas back in 3rd. Mark Jenkins, yesterday's winner, back in 4th. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Unfortunately, we talked to Adrian Cheney, or you did just a second ago, not in the mix anymore. We don't see Hook in the picture as well. Kwame, who was back in 6th, if he's there now, he's way back there.
Well, again, you see Johnny Greaves. It's hard to tell if he's actually on the throttle or is he going just as fast as he needs to kind of save that truck, because you can see how these things, once again, just like yesterday, are bouncing their way, kind of skipping through these ruts in these corners. He doesn't want to happen today what did yesterday.
That was a good line by the 25. Watch out here. Watch out for Mark. He has a lot of momentum and a good drive on an inside. The shortest distance is that inside line. Can you get the grip?
Well, you got a Ford versus a Ram, and you've got Cooper Tire versus Toyo. So you got a little bit of a variance going on right now. Which one's got the best combination for today's track conditions?
Not to mention the hands on the wheel and the foot on the throttle.
There's so many variables, and to be able to run this close with all those variables, the braking points, the spot on the track that you run, the ruts that are there or not there. I mean, and to be able to run this close is absolutely phenomenal.
And not get complacent as well and go in the same line each and every time. If you get complacent and you're going a line because it's comfy, that might not be the fast line, and you're not either going to gain ground or also the guy behind you might be gaining ground on you.
I'm really surprised Mark is not being more aggressive or not.
Whoa, Douglas hooked right there.
That's what we're talking about. That can happen to anybody in the top 4, especially that guy right there, and give that guy, Mike Jenkins, a shot at the lead once again.
Yeah, Scott Douglas hooked and that caught a rut, a braking bump. It set him up in that one spot he was, guarantee you, he did not want to be in. When you're in the middle of that turn, broke loose, you do not want to all of a sudden find traction where you did not expect it.
And it looks like Greaves is probably doing exactly that, going just as fast as he needs to. He's not making that crazy inside line where the 2 right side tires are up over the edge.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he looks like the smoother is the faster line. Mark said yesterday going slower in some of those turns, not spinning the wheels, not going bonsai out. That's why he won yesterday.
Meanwhile, he has caught up to the back of Scott Douglas, who's running in 3rd, which looks like he's also catching up to the back of Mike Jenkins also.
Yeah, Mike is losing ground to Johnny Greaves. We're in the second half of the Pro 4-wheel drive. Johnny Greaves, didn't even see him in a picture. Mike Jenkins in 2nd. You see the AMSOIL number 7 of Douglas in 3rd. There comes yesterday's winner, Mark Jenkins in 4th. And Mark Jenkins going to have the drive. He's going to be in 3rd. But watching that right-hand turn, who gets into it first? It's going to be Mark.
Yeah. Oh, man, I don't know.
But not backing down on the outside. There's where the traction was.
I will not be denied Douglas right there. That was all about will. He made that truck stick. He willed it around that corner.
The middle of that straightaway, I thought for sure Mark Jenkins had taken over third position. At the end of the straightaway, maybe he didn't get the forward bite. Maybe it was popping up Jenkins a little bit too much. But Scott Douglas in the 7 out of California, he's in third, and they're going to get the white flag the next time around.
Johnny Greaves in this kind of racing is literally all by himself right now, especially on a track this tight. Douglas still trying every different line of the corners. He may have a little bit more in the tank right now than Mike Jenkins. It appears he's able to go inside, outside, but just doesn't quite have enough to complete the pass.
The last turn here, let's look for that white flag. There she's waving that race for second, third, and fourth. If Douglas tries diving in on Mike Jenkins, Mark Jenkins is going to take advantage of it. But look at the double deuce, the 22, that black Monster Energy Toyota. That thing has been hooked up today in the Pro 4. Really no contest.
One thing we haven't looked at, though, is also tires. It's notorious this season. On the last lap or two, tires start to go down because they just absolutely reef on these trucks. The sidewalls just take such a beating, throwing these 4,000-pound plus race trucks. And there goes Douglas to the inside, up on the berm. Douglas now set for that left-hand corner, going uphill. Douglas makes the pass, but it hasn't made it stick yet. Here comes Mark Jenkins.
Oh, Mike goes off. He kept his foot in it, and it just did not work that time. We'll see where Mark is. Remember, now Mark's up to third. He still has Douglas in front of him in second. Johnny Greaves is checked out. He has one more turn, and he's going to win this thing.
I guarantee you this, there will be conversation in the pit area in the Douglas and Jenkins pits, as here comes the man from Green Bay, Wisconsin, driving the Monster Energy Toyota, the number 22 of Johnny Greaves. And how about this? Mark Jenkins makes that pass on Douglas with just a few turns remaining in this race. Jenkins will take second, Scott Douglas third.
So the 7th victory for Johnny Greaves and that Maxxis Tires Toyota in the season in Pro 4, and he did it in convincing fashion here at Sturgis. Battle at the Chip. We'll talk with our top 3 and hear what they had to say here shortly. What a race in Pro 4.
When adventure calls, count on the Trail Grappler to get you to your destination, wherever that may be. Large, innovative tread blocks provide additional biting edges to help you command the most challenging terrains as you discover new trails. The Trail Grappler's 3-ply sidewall and thick rubber construction aids puncture resistance and provides durability when you need it most. Nitto Trail Grappler, where road meets trail.
What is it that makes a Husqvarna dealer a Husqvarna dealer? Well, just look close at the engineering in our outdoor power equipment. We're known for high performance and reliability in everything we make. So is it any wonder your Husqvarna dealer is also known for high performance and reliability in everything they do? With a nationwide network of Husqvarna dealers, there's one just around the corner.
Welcome back here to the Buffalo Chip. The battle at the Chip, and also known as the track that Cat built. As we get ready with our top 3 finishers headed on towards the podium. That was a great race. I mean, what could we say? Obviously, it was I don't want to say a runaway by Johnny Greaves, but he definitely had the advantage over everybody else.
No, I thought Mike Jenkins kept him honest for quite a while there. Scott Douglas looked like he was the fastest any given time, and Mark showed that he really, I think, likes this course. That's 2 days in a row he's top 2 on the podium.
Well, until the very last corner, we had no clue who was going to finish second or third between 3 different trucks. Right. That's a good race.
Yeah, and Johnny's happy he was out in front, but there was a heck of a race going on behind him. But Johnny Greaves takes his 7th victory this year in this is our 12th event. So that's a pretty good win percentage for the Toyota. As you can see, the fans and the victory podium down there in the bottom right. Again, thank everybody. We will get to hear from our victory podium here in just a moment. And what an event we had here at Sturgis, the inaugural battle at the Chip. And I hope there are many more down the road because this is quite the festivities. If you're coming here to be in the rally, all you do is just come about a quarter mile down the road from the Buffalo Chip. We're on their property, but it's literally where all the mayhem happens and the concerts. We're literally a stone's throw.
It's kind of wild to be able to sit on the same property that we watch on TV of all the crazy parties and all those episodes of what takes place at Sturgis.
My boy Cody Gilmore, one of the Supercross racers, he's here. He was a guest of mine watching these trucks out there. Cody Gilmore, who's made many 450 main events in the Supercross, he told me about some of the things that were happening down there. Grant and I went down and had lunch there earlier today. This is an event. It is a happening, and it's a bucket list item if you're a biker or you like the rally, and now for the bikers to come and check out the Torque Trucks. Torque, the Off-Road Championship, Battle at the Chip here in Sturgis.
Yeah. But I love these. I love.
So with the 7th victory of the season in the Pro 4-wheel drive, Johnny Greaves, all smiles. It looked like the Johnny Greaves show today, but what great racing behind with Scott Douglas taking 3rd and Mark Jenkins finishing in 2nd. Taylor Snyder is down at our victory podium.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with our Pro 4 podium finishers, and I'm going to start with Scott Douglas. Scott, great to be out here in Sturgis. New fans, a new track, but the same awesome competition going on here in Pro 4.
Oh yeah, but the excitement of the fans is fantastic, and being here at Sturgis at the Chip is off the hook. But what about that track? I mean, that track was wild. All the big holes in it. Jeff Nordstrom did a great job, and Torque did. But you know, we got 3rd. We're happy to be here on the podium. We worked our tails off, and I got to thank AMSOIL, Walker Evans Racing Wheel, Borley Exhaust, Toyo Tire, and Mastercraft, and all my other sponsors. We had a little issue with the left front brake. I don't know what it was, but no excuses. I mean, I was driving my butt off. These other guys were driving their butts off and putting on a hell of a show for the race, or for the fans.
All right, well, great to see also AMSOIL is the official oil, not only of Torque, but of course Sturgis, so it's great to see you up here representing.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm so proud to be with AMSOIL and lucky to have their products, because that's what keeps this thing cool under these rough conditions. It's just brutal out there, and we're using up every bit of the. I mean, like the brakes. I mean, with that one sticking, it wants to boil the brake fluid and everything. But all the AMSOIL products just held up great. So I was able to bring it home. A lot of times you're just dead in the water with no brakes or brake hanging like that, but we weren't. And I tell you, next time though, I mean, all aside, I got to congratulate Johnny for a great job all weekend, Mark for a great job all weekend, and the rest of the competitors for the amount of respect that we had up and down those hills, and how good a fought battle it was, because this could have been really ugly. It could have been just disastrous after 2 laps, but instead it was fantastic racing, and hats off to all my fellow competitors.
All right, give it up for Scott Douglas, everyone. Moving on up to Mark Jenkins. He's taking over this podium spot right here. But let's talk a little bit about that race. Of course, the brotherly racing going on out there. Lots of competition, and y'all were taking it 3 wide up there on that track.
Yeah, Taylor, it got pretty dicey there towards the end of the race. It was definitely go time, and you can count the seconds before that checker flag falls, and you've got to plan your moves several moves in advance when you're racing with pros like this. They don't give you anything; you got to take it. And I'd gladly give up this spot for Johnny's. Got to occupy it yesterday, but I knew he was going to come back swinging today. He wasn't going to take second lightly, and he was going to be faster, and we needed to do the same. I got to thank Traxxas, and I don't say it often enough, but my #1 supporter, Mike Jenkins. Thank you, brother. AMSOIL, Fox Shocks, Impact Racing, my family, Lucha, my kids, parents, and the wonderful crew I got in Gentech Water Treatment. Thank all you guys.
All right, give a big round of applause. Mark Jenkins, everyone.
Can I pull myself out of a hole and thank my crew, Jenkins Brothers Racing? Love you guys.
All right, moving up to the top, Johnny Greaves, #1 spot up here. I know this is where you like to be, but let's talk a little bit about this new track out here. It's always great to see you guys battling in Crandon, but of course we've taken to these hills and given all the Sturgis fans a great show out here.
Yeah, I mean, the track is awesome. I got to give my hats off to this Torque track crew, Jeff Nordstrom and his team. They just kept working on it, and I know a lot of people were unhappy in the beginning, and once you just got laps on it and figured it out, it's an awesome track, and it offers something that we don't get at a lot of places with all the elevation and roughness and off cambers. So it was so fun to drive, and after yesterday, that Toyota was just so pissed off about getting second, I couldn't even hold on to it today. It was just an animal, and it loves it when there's traction. So I got to thank this crew for tuning it up. I mean, it worked great. And Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, Method Wheels, Magnaflow, AMSOIL, Forest County Potawatomi. We even got some Potawatomi guys out here. And when he's done, we got AMSOIL. I really got to say thanks to all these fans in the Buffalo Chip, for letting us put this on and come out here and entertain you guys. And tonight, Florida-Georgia line, we're getting pissed up and going to rock this place. I think these guys will be there too. So.
All right, well, I hope these guys put on a wonderful show for you out here in Sturgis. Are you going to spray me with that again? No. Okay. Well, give it up for all of your Pro 4 podium finishers here today. Scott Douglas, Mark Jenkins, and Johnny Greaves.
Paybacks are a son of a gun, aren't they? Mark Jenkins got to spray him a little prematurely there, so now he had a full bottle, and he's letting his face know it.
Robbie,
so yeah, he's going to tear it up tonight. I promise you, Johnny is.
If you would go back about 3 years ago, you would never dream you'd see those three particular guys having that much fun on the podium. It's so cool to see that now.
Yeah, throw Ricky Johnson in the mix as well, who we may get to see Ricky in the Pro 4-wheel drive at the next stop at Crandon.
I'm hearing there's reports, yeah. That's one of the cool rumors coming out of the West Coast, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a tremendous event. Johnny Greaves adding to that points lead that he has in Pro 4-wheel drive after Mark Jenkins took the win yesterday. Jenkins, probably the best weekend. We see a first and a second. He was very competitive all weekend long.
Yeah, and there's Brad, his crew chief, man. He lives and dies. It's kind of funny to see him in one of those do-rags just for Sturgis. So, but he's such a great guy. He works so hard in that race truck. He's one of the calmest, quietest guys. And hey, Brad, how you doing? He just stops what he's doing and looks at you real slow and kind of.
Well, this is
one of those.
This is an event. This is a happening, and you talk about the do-rag and Sturgis, us being here. We're just literally a few hundred yards where all the concerts. You heard Johnny talking about Florida-Georgia line tonight, and he's going to let loose a little bit. Make sure, whether you watched it online, whether you're here in person, let everybody know what a great time you've had. Hashtag Torque whenever you're throwing it out there for Facebook or Instagram.
Pound sign.
That's a pound sign for the Scott Rain fans. He's not used to that, but he still has that rotary dial at home for his phone as well.
As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
There we have it.
Yeah, give us your best shot. You can tweet or Instagram your pictures to hashtag Torque. Just throw that on there, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and let everybody know what an awesome time you have either watching or attending Torque, the Off-Road Championship.
What a great picture that is right there. The beautiful scenery. I've never been to this part of the country before, and all the travels that we've done over the years. And how about this? That is the big one, the big house. The keys to the big house are going to be had by just a few drivers in a couple of weeks. Labor Day weekend, you can't miss it. That is the bucket list right there.
Yeah, that's World Champion's going to be crowned. 2 days of racing action, both rounds 13 as well as 14. Yeah, that's the big boy. We've already been, to Crandon once, but it's kind of like the lead up. It's kind of like, getting you prepared for the big day.
I got to explain a little bit about that weekend to you because on Saturday, obviously the last race of the year is on Sunday. Everybody wants to win that championship for the season. That's when we find out who the champions are for the seasons on Sunday. On Saturday is the World Championship weekend, or day. That's when Crandon, the racetrack, crowns their world champion. So if you win the race on Saturday, you get a Super Bowl-size ring signifying that you are the world champion at Crandon that weekend. Well, then on Sunday, again, we win the championship for the season, but then we also have the Cup race, the Amsoil Cup, $40,000 purse this year at the Amsoil Cup, and that is a big one. So we've got 3 big races.
And that's a basically staggered start, Pro 2 and Pro 4.
Exactly.
Whichever one you want to choose to drive, and we'll also maybe get to see CJ Greaves have to make that decision.
It's coming out. Yeah. I was told that truck is going to be running at Crandon, but whether he runs it in that race or not, who knows, but he's going to be running it again.
I want to remind everyone that the Battle of the Chip, the race that you saw today, will be aired on the NBC Sports Network August 10th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Battle at the Chip from Sturgis, South Dakota, August 10th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, and also the Keys to the Big House. It's going to be Labor Day weekend, and will air that week, September 6th at 3:30 for the Keys to the Big House, and also at 5 o'clock we'll see that Amsoil Cup. So the races we talked about at Crandon, we'll see those September 6th. Today's race you'll see on August 10th, Battle at the Chip from Sturgis, South Dakota.
And once again, if you want to catch up on any of the racing we've had so far this season, you can go to YouTube and hit Torque, and the entire seasons are all right there.
Watch us once again. Scott, it was a good one the first time to Sturgis. I might have to go party with Johnny because I think he's going to have one heck of a throwdown tonight, but I think I might head over to the deep end of the Chip.
Well, I'm going to be riding back with some of the tech guys from Crandon as there's a Sportsman weekend coming up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you have a good time. I'll keep you posted how the Sportsman racing goes, and it's going to be a fun weekend of racing at Crandon this weekend at Sportsman only. Once again, we hope you had a great time tuning in and watching, once again, this big, phenomenal 2-day racing here at the Chip, Sturgis, South Dakota. On behalf of Taylor Snyder, myself, and Robbie Floyd, we hope you had a great time. We'll see you next time down the road. The weekend Count it out. You may be in the backyard partying this Labor Day weekend, but tune in. Grab those laptops, put them on that patio deck, and watch us. It's Labor Day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll see you then.